Congratulations, you've been drafted into the Federation's elite 95th Brigade of Mechanized Marines. The Federation is at war with the Axis, and your platoon has been put on full alert in Quadrant 9. Allow me to introduce you to your assault suit. Anti-Gravity Super Stompers. 3-Peter Enemy Eliminator complete with 360-degree assault rotation. Locked and Loaded Knuckleizer for close combat. Ionized Indestructoid Shield. Hyperspace Propulsion Pack with Nuclear Fission Thrusters. Zithagoth Command and Control Center. This is your Cybernator. Cybernator is an action game where you pilot a hulking assault suit Cybernator model G5-E into battle. You can press the B button to jump, and holding B will briefly engage your jetpack, allowing you to perform limited aerial maneuvers. Pressing the Y button will fire your equipped weapon, and you can choose which weapon you're using with the X button. When you start the game, you only have 2 weapons available: a gun which rapidly fires Vulcan shells, and your fists, which deliver a close-range punch. Eventually, you'll gain additional weapons like missiles and a laser beam. Pressing up or down on the D-pad will slowly rotate the angle of your gun so you can take down enemies from almost any direction. Holding the L button will lock the rotation of your gun, which is incredibly useful in certain areas of the game. Finally, pressing R will allow you to use your shield to block projectiles, and pressing A while on the ground will execute a high-speed dash. If you're ever feeling lost, you can press the start button to pause the game, which also displays a small map of your surroundings. There are 3 types of power-ups in Cybernator: energy chips, which restore your health; weapon chips, which add a weapon to your arsenal; and power chips, which will increase the level of your currently equipped weapon. Leveling up your weapons will result in more powerful versions. For instance, the missile weapon, which normally fires missiles in the direction you're aiming, will fire homing missiles when leveled up. Cybernator features a bit of variety between the stages. Some stages are platformers with a bit of exploration, while others feature side-scrolling shoot-'em-up sections where you'll find yourself dodging asteroids as well as enemies and their projectiles. There are also sections of Cybernator where you'll have to navigate the stage using the D-pad to maneuver in 8 directions in zero gravity. These zero gravity stages are where having the ability to lock the rotation of your gun with the L button is essential, since you'll be using the D-pad to move around in a way which has the unfortunate side effect of changing the angle of your gun. Later on, there's also a snow level where you'll find your Cybernator dashing quickly to the right, and you can only change which direction you're facing while in the air, which I thought was an interesting mechanic. You'll travel through 7 missions in total, and interestingly, you can fail some missions and still continue on. Failing these missions will have an impact on which ending you'll receive if you manage to make it through the entire game. Cybernator has a story element to it and features a pretty cool looking backstory, which plays out if you wait long enough at the main menu. You'll also get mission briefings between levels, which fill you in on what's going on with the war and your current objectives. You'll occasionally receive some dialogue during the game itself, which is actually my biggest gripe with Cybernator. You'll be going along happily pulverizing every enemy in sight when suddenly the game stops and you're forced to have a little conversation with your commanding officer, Kriya. You can speed these conversations up by mashing buttons on the controller, but it's still jarring to me and kind of breaks the flow of the otherwise intense and engaging gameplay. If you're a fan of big guns, big mechs, and big explosions, you're gonna love Cybernator. The controls can take a little bit of getting used to, specifically rotating your gun and locking in where you're aiming, but once you're accustomed to that aspect, Cybernator is a real treat to play. I give Cybernator a heavy metal 4 out of 5.